Coming to our next program, that is the thing is that linear search using while loop. Yesterday also I had uploaded a program which actually shows you the linear search, but that is using for loop. Here you will learn in a bit different way, that is using while loop. Okay, here I have taken a list similarly to input the value what to be searched to the list, and if is false. If means it is a boolean literally. If true and false are boolean literal, they are not string. And how will you understand? You see it is given in purple color. Okay, so it is a keyword. All right, now the thing is that when we are using inputting the value to search, so beginning only p is initialized at 0 and f has been initialized to false. Okay, and we are taking p less than len of list 1. Len of list 1 means the how many elements are there, that is actually the length of the list. So here it will be 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, so 9 elements are there altogether, and the starting will begin from the 0 to 8. Okay, index of the list, because the first value we had seen in the traversing arrays, accessing elements of an array, slicing, we had seen the first element is 0. Okay, now the thing is that so 0 to 8 the counting will be, so 0 to 8 the traversing will take place, and in between what is happening, the entered value will be checked every time. Okay, somehow like the last program we had done, that is the frequency. Okay, so the checking to be done, if the checking is fine, then what is happening, f is becoming true, and wherever it will be found the loop is continuing. We have not used any break statement, we can use the break statement also. And if it is true, in that case p will increase its value. What will happen, p will increase its value. Fine. Okay, so that is the thing. So p equals to p plus 1, not that p equals to p plus 1 for execution of the loop, that is outside in the loop only, and f will become true. Suppose here it is happening 2 3 times, nothing will happen, it will be true only, f will be true only. So when the loop will be over with its execution, it will come out if f colon, that means if true, it means that if is true. So what is the I can put a comment out here, if the condition is false. Okay, condition is true, so that is the meaning if f. So boolean values can be written in this way by directly referring the variable. Fine, so if true, then num is found at position p, wherever it will be found it will be printed. Okay, the p will be picked up and it will be taken. Understood? It will be found at the position p. All right, and otherwise the number is not present. Okay, now see its execution once. Okay, I'm executing this module. Okay, now you see the thing is that here I'm entering the value. Okay, say I am entering say 56, is not present in the list, is not existing in the list. Now you see I'm executing the run module has been executed. Now I'm typing 50 out here, 50 is appearing as 0 1 2 3 4, that means in fifth position, so it will always give you found at the position 5. Now suppose simply I am giving this particular thing. Okay, what I will give say 30, not 30, 70 I will give. Okay, 70, fine. So 70 you enter, it will be is found at the position 7. All right, so in this way you can easily access any value, or you can search the value along with its position from a given loop. Okay, from a given list. And what we had used out here, we had out here the while loop. And why and not f has been given, because here we have, remember here we have not given break. Okay, so if f becomes true, so not true means it is becoming false, so first only it will come out. All right, suppose say for example, how will you understand this, I'm keeping out here 70. Okay, 70. All right, now I'm executing this particular program. Okay, now say what I'll do, I will give 70 now. It is printing position 4, it is not taking this the next position, it has been only taken the first position, first occurrence of 70. That is why not employed. All right. Oh. Students, today also the list programs we will discuss, and these programs also are very important for you. Okay, so first of all, we will see the count the occurrence of a number in the list. That yesterday I had uploaded the linear search, and that is a kind of that one. Whenever in a list a particular number has been found, then it has been counted in this particular program. All right, and the similar syntax is there for the for loop, and we have taken a list already been taken out here. You can see the list. What are the list values? 10, 20, 30, 30, 40, 60, 50, 40. Some of the numbers have been repeated out here. So the demands as the program demands, because I have been asked to find the occurrence of a number in the list, and have not kept any provision if the if it is not appearing, but in the next few programs I have kept the provision when it is not been found. And in the previous few program also, to print the even numbers multiples of 5, I had kept that provision if in case if that particular item has not been found. Okay, so here I have not kept it has been found, because here the number, if it is not appearing, it will simply appear 0 times. All right, so that's why no such provision has been kept out here. All right, now the thing is that when we are executing this program, then run module, when I'm doing, then what is actually been found, you see out here. Okay, it is asking me, it is prompting me to enter a number. Fine. So now suppose if I'm entering say 79, you see what is coming, 0 times, because 79 does not appear in this list, because every time each value will be compared with the entered number, because for I in list, I is taking the values from the concerned list object, and it has been checked with the number. If they are equal, then only this particular counter, that is c equals to c plus 1, will increase, otherwise not. All right, that is the thing. So the 79 entire list has been traversed, and it has been not found anything out there. So in that case, C cannot update its values, it remains 0. So, and while printing, it has printed, that's why 0 times. Now suppose if something else we are giving, say executing the value which may occur over here, say I'm giving 20 out here, then you see what is appearing out here. Entered number is present 3 times. Let us check. 20, 20, 20, 3 times. Yes, it is very much, it was very correct, because 3 times the condition has become true. That's why 3 times this particular C value has been updated. It has become 0 to 1, 1 to 2, and 2 to 3. So it is very clear. So now again, if you are running, say executing this program, then say if I'm entering 40 out here, let's see 40 how many times. 40 appears here 2 times. You see out here in the list also it is 40. It's appearing 2 times. And if I am going for the 30 out here, let's see 30 is appearing how many times? It is also appearing 2 times out there. Okay, so that is the thing. So in this way, you can easily count, you can develop a program which will tell you the frequency of a particular value that is appearing in the list. You know what is frequency? Frequency table everybody has done in maths in the statistics part in your previous class, that is in class 10. So you can easily use this particular program in order to find out the frequency of a particular data in the existing list. Okay, that is the thing. So if we are just changing this particular thing, and the frequency of this particular value is this many times, then also it can be printed in that way. Okay, so this is the program to find the frequency, or you say the occurrence of a particular item in the list. The same thing can be applicable with the character type value also, but here we are done with the help of numbers. All right, so here you can see beside the C I had written counting elements, means it is actually called documenting in a program. That first one is also documenting. These remain inexecutable by the interpreter. Okay, this is for our purpose. Okay, these are optional entirely, not mandatory, can be given anywhere in the list, but where you are giving, that must be applicability of this particular comment must be suitable, that is there. Okay, otherwise after hash anything can be written. Okay, so don't write anything which is irrelevant. So relevant one you just write. So here I have written quite rightly counting elements from where, from the list, and where the counting occurs, here c equals to c plus 1, here the counting occurs. And finally when I has been exhausted, the list has been exhausted, means no more elements left, in that case it will print this many number of times the particular value is appearing. That's what we have done in this program, and we have said execution, kindly implement it practically. All right. So now this particular program, I hope you understand. And since you have not employed break, I told you earlier that we have given not F means like when the action this thing has been found, F equals to true. Okay, and here the and condition has been given, and not F means it is not true. That means it is becoming false, and must satisfy whenever the and has been used. All the condition must be individually true. Then while this is true, this has becoming false, so the total condition will be entire condition will be considered as false. All right, so the loop will come out. That's why it is not showing you the second occurrence of 70. It is showing you the first occurrence of 70 only. That is the purpose of giving not F. F is the value which is of type boolean. All right, so in this way also by using while loop we can do the same program. All right, now we are coming to another program that is a very quite easy program, little bit not like this. It is just a simple program which is actually mean of the elements that are there in the list. So whenever you are inputting the element in the list, and how we will, here we have not taken the initialized list, we have taken only the list which has to be inputted. All right, the values to be we have to input. So I'm executing. So what is happening? It is very simple. 0 to length, it is going whatever be the length of the list, and in between what is happening, it is counting, it is added up, then it is divided by the length whatever be the value. So what is the purpose of to I mean, have to find out the average or mean. Sum will be divided by the number of elements. The same thing has been done over here. The total list values all will be calculated, and the sum will be accumulated in the variable sum. All right, and then finally when the loop will complete its rotation, the control will come out and the mean will be calculated by dividing the accumulated sum by length. All right, then we are executing this program. Fine. Now you see how these things have been executed. So enter the list of elements. Say I'm entering, say all five. Okay, you see, then it is easy to understand five. Then the average also should come five. So here also the same thing. 555. Then how many fives are there? 35. 35 divided by 7, which is appearing as 5. So now if you give the known values, then what will happen? Okay, say I'm entering few more values, say 32 and then comma 4, then 56, comma 78, comma 9, comma 12, comma 32. All right, these values we have taken and pressing enter. So it is showing me 31. All right, let's see whether it is correct or not. So I'm running the calculator and just verifying it whether it is correct or not. Let's see. Okay, so the thing is that fine. I'm coming to standard. Okay, standard calc. All right. I see out here what are the values have been taken. 32, 456, 32 plus 4 plus 56 plus 78 plus 9 plus 12 plus 32. So equals to divided by how many values? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, 7 equals to 31 point something. All right, so it is giving the rounded off value, which is actually 30. All right, so we can easily find out the mean of the elements by using several values, as many values we want to input. Okay, so this program is really also a good one. Okay, and this program, this logic will definitely help you out in order to develop further programs. Suppose if you want to find out the mean of all the even numbers present in the list, not all the numbers, only the even numbers list. Last time how I had taught you that to extract the even numbers only. Part of that program and part of this program will mix up and will be merged into a separate different program. Okay, so to input the value in the list and find out the average of the even numbers only. Kindly try it out and see how whether you will be able to do it or not. And if you can do it, you definitely post it in the Google Classroom. I will check out, and if it not, then I will definitely help you out. All right. Thank you very much. Okay. For today, this much is all, and you implement practical definitely. Thank you.